So no, tonight's dinner is all about wanting cornbread so that I could have honey butter. So I made some bean soup, which basically is just beans and ham and onions and carrots that I put in there. And then Kevin has a piece of cornbread with his, and that's a piece of honey butter. Mine, you can see, has no liquid because I have cornbread with the little beans on top. And then my cornbread with honey butter on the side. Hi. So this is an aside from the What's for Dinner Tonight. Back in the end of October, November, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was in an airport and I was thinking about some goals that I wanted to accomplish for myself and something that I'd like to do special. And I decided that in the month of December that I was not going to serve the same thing twice for dinner. We were not going to have the same thing twice for dinner. Most of the time, this is not something I can accomplish easily between working 50-55 hours a week, my travel schedule. It's just not something I can do easily. It's too easy to make spaghetti once a week for dinner and things like that. December is a little different for me because I'm off for quite a bit of the month to use at vacation. And so I set the challenge for myself, and it's the last day of the month, and I did it. We might have had pizza twice, but they were two different pizzas. We might have had frittatas twice, but they were two entirely different frittatas. Fast food was the one thing that got us because I had not accounted for that. And normally our go-to is Chick-fil-A for fast food, and we used that up way early in the year, and then the very next week we used Taco Bell. So I had to come up with something, and that's when we had Arby's. I also served meatloaf twice, but they were two different meatloaves. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself that I went an entire month and made a different item for dinner. We had something different for dinner every night, all leading up to tonight's very special dinner. Tonight is the last night of the year, and it's a special dinner for us. We don't go out, but we do stay in and have something special. I made a standing rib roast, which is basically prime rib. It's a prime rib. We both have some. Made some sauce to go with that. And then I had planned to do potatoes and cream spinach separately and decided, wait a second, I made a potato spinach gratin a couple years ago, so that's what I did. It's basically a gratin that has a layer of potatoes and caramelized onions and spinach and then cheese and then a couple layers of that, and then you pour the cream over the top, the kind of cream that cooked the potatoes in, and then it's topped with panko and what else did I put on the top? Parmesan on the top. And these are Gruyere crusted buns. You can't really see the spiral, but you can see that it has the molten. These almost did not happen because it was late and I almost forgot to make the starter last night for these. So yeah, there's actually two more to make of those, so I'm looking forward to that. So that is Kevin's plate, and this is mine. Happy New Year! So I still have not gone to the grocery yet. So we are struggling to have food. But tonight I did come up with something, and that is waffles. So these are just waffles that I made. Nothing. I like my particular, they're buttermilk waffles, but I really like our waffles. I use pastry flour in them, and it makes such a difference because it's billowy on the inside and crispy on the outside. And then we have some bacon, and then we heated up some of the fresh maple syrup that we like to get. So that's Kevin's plate. That's my plate. There are also several more of these waffles ready to go. The great thing about waffles is if you have extras, if you just put them in the freezer and then toast them up, they work perfectly. So tonight we're having pork chops, and it's been a while since I've cooked pork chops. It's not something that I normally make in this house. We make a lot of pork tenderloin, but not pork chops. So these are pork chops that have been cooked in a plum balsamic sauce, and then we have some roasted carrots, and then I made a balsamic dressing to go with, since this has balsamic in it, I made a balsamic dressing. This is just
spring mix that has tomatoes and cheese and cranberries and almonds in it. So that's Kevin's plate. That's my plate. So tonight we are having stuffed shells, which is, I took ricotta and Parmesan and spinach and garlic and mushrooms and a little mozzarella, and then stuffed shells with that, and then also coated the top with Parmesan and mozzarella. I cooked it up, and then we're having a salad that has spring mix, almonds, tomatoes. What else is in there? Some cranberries, and then I made a red wine vinaigrette. This is the last of the Gruyere rolls that I made up tonight. So this is Kevin's, and this is mine. So Kevin asked me what we were having for dinner tonight, and I was like, I don't know what to call it. It started out as thyme lemon chicken, and then I kind of went way off the recipe. So this is basically chicken thighs that I made a little sauce of lemon zest, lemon juice, garlic, thyme, a little red pepper, and salt. And basically just, these are boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and placed those in a pan and then drizzled that all over it, and then sprinkled some panko on the top just to help maybe give it some crunch or something. And then underneath, I'm serving it on a bed of quinoa that what did I do? I just well, I am brown. I just sauteed some shallots in butter, and then cooked it in stock, and then added some almonds in the end to it. And then I made a simple spinach salad that has mandarin oranges in it and cranberries in it. There's very little cheese because I only had a little left, and then some almonds, and then I made a apple cider vinaigrette for the top. So yeah, that's what's for dinner tonight. So Kevin's working tonight, and I had a hard time trying to decide what I wanted to make for dinner because I just didn't feel like it, but I haven't really eaten today, so I just made up a couple of quesadillas. There's just cheese and tomato in there. They're pretty small. These are those low-carb wrappers that I really like. They're fabulous for this sort of thing. They only have 4 net carbs, so that's pretty exciting. So yeah, that's what's for dinner tonight.